All right. Good morning,
All
guys.
right.
Welcome to our Saturday Zoom training call. I want to take this moment to thank you for coming and to congratulate you
Recording
for being
in progress.
the right place at the right time. We've got a lot of information to get into, so I'm going to skip all the formalities of the welcome and the introduction and tell you to grab a paper, grab a pen. This is our training time. I want you to write down stuff that you hear. If you have a question as we progress through the call, write that down as well. We are going to start off with the big person first. We're going to jump right into the big information with the head leader of our company, the founder of our company, Art Phelps. Art, can you hear me?
I can, Scott. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and excited to be with you here this morning and just go through a couple of different things. I've got an announcement that we might, so that's good. We got some good stuff coming out, and then just kind of a tip or some things that have really worked for us in the past, and I really believe can work for you as well. So maybe if we could just turn to the next slide, we can get into this announcement. Okay, this is an enhancement that we've made to the Fast Start that we've put together with the company. Okay. You'll see the difference here is that you used to have to refer 3 premium members in your first week. Okay, we've changed that. Okay, we think there's a couple of speed bumps when you get going with us. You got to set your apps up if you want to get the builder system. That could take you a couple of hours, and we really just want people to win. We want people to make as much money as possible. So the Fast Start going forward and retroactively or whatever is 3 members in your first 2 weeks or 5 members in your first 4 weeks, and we'll give you that 100% check match, matrix check match on everyone that you personally sponsor. And so this could turn out to be a pretty big thing. And existing members, okay, I got this request, one last chance, okay, to get the 100% check match. If you're past your first week, if you're past your first 2 weeks, just become a pro by July 31st. So if you have 3, get 2 more. If you have 2, get 3 more. If you have 4, get 1 more. If you got none, get 5. Okay, and we're gonna, you're gonna hear some amazing training today on how you can do that. Okay, you're gonna hear from some of the best, I think, builders that I've ever met, John Sinney and Scott Becker. And so I do encourage you to grab a pen and paper and definitely jot down some notes. So, okay, so that's the enhancement to the Fast Start program. The link inside the members area where people click it, and the first email that they get from us has a little flipbook presentation. We're going to have a video for this pretty quickly. I was looking at a final review. It still needs a little bit of work, but so that's coming up. But until then, we have a like a little flip snack 1 page that explains this to members. Okay, so it goes out in the first email to them. And so as you're following up with your new signups, you might just want to say, hey, did you see that link about the Fast Start program? Okay, because you don't have to pitch it to them. Let us do it. Okay, let us explain it. And I think they're going to get excited because I think it's a lot easier to get 3 than it is to get 20. So, and we want people getting off to a fast start. Okay, so we can move on to the next slide there, John. So looking at who's here, let me see. I sort of know who's here. 20% of the people, 10 to 20% of the people in Nexus have had a lot of success before. Okay, they've made the 6-figure incomes, the 7-figure incomes, and I think that that's awesome because we all can learn from them. One, that's great to have those people, but also obviously they see something here. They recognize something. These are people who have made a lot of money, and they're recognizing, hey, I could make a lot of money with this. But 80% of the people that are in Nexus, and pretty much every company out there, have not yet had success. Okay, they've not made the 6 and 7-figure incomes. And I just want to let you know that we built Nexus for you, okay, for the 80%. And actually, my comments this morning are going to be directed towards those 80% of the people who have not yet had success in this industry. I do want to say the cool thing is you're well on your way, because you're doing the number one thing that's the most important thing for you to succeed in this industry. You're showing up. And believe me, that's a big, big deal. Just by you showing up here this morning or watching the replay of this, you're demonstrating your willingness and desire to grow this business. And it's the number one thing. If you're here a year from now, you'll understand just how important that is. If people who show up to the meetings learn by osmosis, learn by taking notes, learn by plugging in and stuff. So what I love about this industry is really just get good at a couple of things and you can get rich. When I first saw it 33 years ago, this was the way, okay? And they showed this to me. They say, okay, here's what you got to do. You got to get good at prospecting and inviting. You got to get people to the meetings somehow, some way. You need to be able to show the plan to people, right? Remember the flip book in the coffee shop or something like that, where you're going through it and you're walking somebody through it, or you're doing meetings or something. You need to be able to show the plan. You needed to be able to follow up, right? Ask those good follow-up questions and see if you could move people off the dime a little bit. And then you need to learn all the closing skills, right? All the little closing statements. You know, when do you want to start making some money? Now? Okay, good. Here, you hand them a pen, you hold the pen, you hold the application, they start filling it out. Okay, you need to get good at those. And then you need to train your people to prospect, present, follow up, and close. And then you need to train your people to train their people to prospect, present, follow up, and close. But when I saw this, I was like, okay, that's all I need to do, and I get rich. That's all I need to do, and I become a millionaire, is learn these 5 things, 6 things. I could do that. I could do that. And then it was explained to me that, hey, it's just a numbers game. And it really is. I mean, and that's sort of what I like about network marketing. It's just like math. It's just numbers, right? There's the example of the 2 McDonald's, right? There's one in New York City, busiest city in the world, cramped, and it's got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people a day walking past that one McDonald's. And then you have the other McDonald's, which is right down the block from Dr. Lorette Willis, and it's got 18 people walking by the McDonald's every day, right? Which one is doing more business? Obviously the one that's getting more exposure. That's the thing. So this is the old way. I bought into it, and I know John and Scott bought into it because they're here and they were there 30, 40 years ago. This was the way we did it. And we said we could do that, you know, and we had that vision that, okay, it is a numbers game. I'll just get a lot of people doing it. So the new way is a lot more exciting, I think, because it just got a whole lot easier in many different ways, because we don't have to be great at all these things, okay? Next slide, and you'll see you just got to get good at inviting, right? That's all you need to do, is get good at inviting, right? You don't have to, I mean, we have presentations, we have videos, follow up, you can invite people. If you just get good at inviting, you can invite them to the webinars, the meetings that are going on, you know, it's like 3-4 times a week for them to learn more. You don't have to really close. I mean, this deal sort of closes itself, right? I mean, how are you going to close somebody at $22? They're either going to see it or they're not going to see it. And then we just move on, right? So let's just focus on inviting. I mean, because that's the one thing. And I don't know how much time you're going to spend on your business, whether you're going to spend an hour a day, 5 hours a week, or 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week, or you're going to go 4 hours a day, a regular, you know, kind of part-time job, right? 20 hours a week. I don't know. But if you spend a minimum of 1 to 2 hours a day in inviting people, right? And prospecting, and maybe that's reading little things about best prospecting things or best texting tips or whatever. But if you're actually doing the prospecting for an hour a day, and you can do a lot in an hour a day, you really can. Private messaging, texting, getting people to look, just get people. Do you think if you do it, you're going to get better at it? Of course, that's the way you get better at anything, right? Is you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, and you evaluate and you move on and you get better. So Even playing a video game, first time you play it, you're probably not that good, right? But as you play it over and over again, you get better and better. So you think if you spend 5 to 10 hours a week prospecting and inviting, that a lot of invitations, right? You had one enrollment in 4 weeks, right? And if they focused on the one critical, the only really critical thing is prospecting, right? Getting people to look. And if they spend 5 to 10 hours a week inviting, you think they could just enroll one? Of course they could, right? I mean, if we just focus on that, they will. So month 1, you got 1 sign up. Month 2, you both go out and do the same thing, right? Go out and 5 to 10 hours a week. Let's go each get another one, right? So month 2, you get 1, they get 1, total of 3 people in your downline. Let's see what happens when it unfolds a little bit more. People just, really, this is the base minimum, okay? Month 3, you've got 3 people in your downline in month 2, plus you, that's 4. Each go out and get 1, that's 4 more in month 3. That's, and in month 4, there's 8 more, a total of 15 people in your downline. Everyone's getting 1, 15 people. As you start to roll that out a couple of more months, this gets kind of interesting, because in month 5, look what happened. You just became a pro 25 in month 5. Everybody just focusing on, getting 1 or more, right? 1 or more. Month 6, you become a pro 50. Month 7, you become a 1-star. Month 8, you become a 2-star. You're really starting to rank advance. Group is taking off. Look at what's happening here. Ambassador in 12 months. Everyone focusing on get 1. Now, obviously, this is the minimum, right? The question is, if you're focusing on it and you're doing it day in, day out, are you going to get better? I think obviously you're going to get better. And so the wrap-up slide will just kind of, you think you've spent 5 to 10 hours a week prospecting and inviting, you're going to get better. Of course you're going to get better. You're not going to be bringing in 1 person a month 6 months from now. You're not going to be bringing. And so really, I'm commenting, like, if you haven't had success yet, okay, if you're in this a little bit and you haven't had success less, it's okay. You can catch up. Okay, you absolutely can catch up to everybody else. Just focus your activities on prospecting and getting people to look. There's a great book I just want to do a plug for. It's by someone who's in our company, joined our company. His name is Jim Packard, and he wrote a book called The Consistency Chain for Network Marketing. I encourage you guys to Google this thing. I'll put it up in the chat when I'm done here. But it's great because it really talks about what the 20% of the people do who are having massive success, in that they're consistently, day in and day out, doing the business. Day in, day out, doing those income producing activities. You'll hear John mention this and Scott mention this all the time. The number 1 income producing activity is inviting people to look at the opportunity. That's the number 1 thing. And so if we stay focused on that, I'm sure you're going to have massive, massive success with everything that we've put together with Nexus Rewards. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the dynamic duo, Pastor Scott Becker and John Cini. You guys have the floor. Thank you very much, everyone.
Awesome job, Art. Thank you so much. Dead on point. I hope everyone was writing that down. We'll revisit that. Definitely. Let me give you 2 things in addition to that. I'm going to give you 2 things. First one, you've already accomplished, so you're halfway there. If you really want to win financially in this opportunity, there's 2 things that you have to do. Number 1, you have to get started. I think most of us on this call have already gotten started, and that simply means become a premium member. You guys are all part of it. We're all part of something together. This is our first ever Saturday Zoom training call with over 100 people on the call. Yay! Our company is growing. Some of you remember when it was much smaller. John showed you the slides this past week of how, or Dr. Lorette showed the slides. We've all looked at them, how fast the company is growing and the people that are looking at the company. You're at a momentous time here. This is something that's going to be memorable when we first had over 100 people on a Saturday, because this thing is growing. And the second thing is, don't quit. Just don't quit. You've already gotten started. Now you have to be the one that doesn't quit. There's a book I read every day that says, don't get tired of doing the right thing, because at the right time, your harvest will come in if you don't quit. So many people give up on their dreams. I did some math, and I want to share it with you guys this morning about how financially easy it is here. I've been in some companies where they kind of motivated me to quit with $200 and $300 a month auto ships. It was very costly. It's very expensive. Here at $21.95 a month with only $10 to come in, we know we've got a very low cost of entry. But check out this math. We've got a bonus here at Nexus Rewards, our Matrix loyalty bonus. But to get there, and I love the way Art and Rob did this, it's genius. You got to be in for 6 months. You've got to stay the course for 6 months. And that's going to help you because, as Art just said, you're going to begin to grow. It's going to get bigger and bigger. You've just got to stay the course. So what does it take to stay here for 6 months? Well, it takes a little bit of ambition, but it also takes $21.95 a month, plus that $1 one-time $10 joining fee. So if you do that math, 6 times 125, that's $131.70, plus the $10 to join, that's $141.70 total. So for less than $142 over the next 6 months, you can be in this business for 6 months. And I want you to share with your people. I tell our people all the time, don't even think about quitting Nexus Rewards, because this is the next big thing. This is the right now thing that is a rocket ship that is going somewhere. And so many people fail to do either step one, which is getting started. We're all halfway there. We already got started. And step two, you got to make up in your mind you're not going to quit. And I love that loyalty matrix bonus as something to target, something to focus on. Because if you stick around for the next 6 months and you just do the things that Art just talked about doing, you're going to find success here, because we've got a great company. We've got the right timing. We've got the right ownership. We've got the right comp plan. We're developing the right training. We've got a phenomenal NXR builder that I hope everyone is using. If you want to grow your business for $5 a month for a complete marketing system that Art and Rob put together, check that out. We got a lot of things going on, but the one thing we don't have going on at Nexus Rewards, and I want to talk to you about that right now, is we don't have anyone waving a big check. John talks about this a lot in training. John has got a lot of people. We've talked to a lot of people for our partnership that are waiting. Well, let's see when you guys start making some money. We don't have anyone at Nexus Rewards making a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month check. Now, we've got Nick Skolsky well on his way, our diamond, our upline leader, and I appreciate everything that Nick does for us. But right now, we don't have anyone waving a big check. Now, John and I, just a little backstory. The first time we met over a decade ago, we were both in a company sidelined to each other. And John was at an event where I was speaking on stage. And they had platformed me to speak on stage because I had, when I joined the company, I was the only person that ever made over $4,500 in my first week. And John wanted to talk and find out, okay, tell me what you did to make that happen. Let me just say, we don't have a reasonable way to make $4,500 in your first week. And that's not even a great goal for people to have, because that's very uncommon and unusual. Now you say, well, if I went out and sponsored 450 people this week, yes, you could. And if you go out and sponsor 450 people this week, I want to help negotiate the book deal for you on how you did it. But let's talk reality. We don't have a clear path to making thousands and thousands of dollars on day one. What we have here is a much better situation. We've got a clear path to do what Art just talked about, to build and build and build in a company that no one gets hurt, in a company where everyone can come in for the cost of the entry fee and the monthly fee, and we're going to grow, but it's going to take some time. John and I went on both to be top earners in that company, and we sat on the president's advisory board, and that's how we got to know each other and formed our partnership. But we're always looking, when we join a new company, we're looking for ways to get to John calls it a clear path to 10K a month. And we've got a clear path laid out to 10K a month. And we'll talk about that either this week or next week or the following week. But it's going to take a little bit of time. Now, I've done a lot of business consulting in my lifetime. And one of the things that I do, the strategy that I teach, is squeeze the grape that's in your hand. I've even had some owners tell me, Scott, I thought you were going to teach me how to bring new customers in. And I always tell them, well, I am. You pay me for that next week. But what we need to focus on right now is getting every drop of income out of our existing customer base. And what we've got to do here is the same thing. We've got to maximize every drop. We got to squeeze the grape and get every ounce of income out of our existing customer base. Well, our fee is $21.95 a month. There's no bigger plan. There's no upgrade plan. There's no premium, double, triple, platinum, buy the pink farm plan. It's $21.95 a month for everybody. So where is the hidden income? Well, it's in our free members. It's in this big, giant, growing list of free members. I think if you've been in this for any length of time, you've got more free members than premium members. That's okay. We want a lot of free members because the number one goal for free members is to get them to become what? Premium members, to get them to join as premium members and to upgrade so that they are $21.95. And the best way to make that happen is to get them to use the apps. But you can't just get inside their heads. You can't go to their house and say, you will use the app. You will use the app. So we've got to try to motivate the free members to use the apps, because once they start using the apps, they're going to see how easy it is. They're going to see how great it is, how much money that they can save using the apps, and they're going to start telling each other. We need to understand that free members are just premium members in waiting. They are premium members in waiting if we get them moving in the right direction. And the right direction is using the apps, because here's the reality. If you present this opportunity to someone and they choose the free member over the premium member, they just told you no. They told you no to the premium membership. Maybe they signed up as a free member because they just wanted to be nice to you. I can't believe that they chose free over premium because they couldn't find $32. I just don't believe that. Art does a great job. He says, look in your couch cushions. I mean, find that money somewhere. But they choose the free membership so they can say no to the premium membership. But we've just got to get them using the apps. Let me talk to you a little bit about psychology. The psychology of selling is switching people from being negative to being positive. Now, every event in your life has registered in your brain. Every smell, every sound, the look of everything, the way the sun hits your face, the way the wind blows across the back of your neck, it all registers in your brain in what experts call either a positive neuroassociation or a negative neuroassociation. I'm not going to be long with this detailed speech, but everything that's ever happened in your life is registered in one or two spots in your brain, either a positive neuroassociation or a negative neuroassociation. That's why you could have a smell and it makes you feel good because it takes you back to a day when you were in grandmama's kitchen and it felt good. So you register that positively. Or you walk outside and the wind blows on you and it's something just makes you feel good. It's because something good happened on a day with a similar temperature. Anyway, it's all about positive and negative neuroassociations. And what happened when people chose free over premium, whether they said they were negative on our company, whether they looked negative on our company, they made a choice to say no to the premium side and take the free side. And we've got to switch that. We've got to change them from being negative to being positive. We've got to change them from thinking that Nexus is something they can live without to getting them to understand that Nexus is something that is going to bless them and something that they need to do. So how do we get them to do that? Well, I came up with an idea. I've been the $1 million idea for a long time, and I came up with an idea on how we can maximize our income. because for you to go out and make $1,000 this week, that's doable. If you go out and sign up 100 people, that's pretty difficult. We haven't had a lot of people do that, not only in this company, but in the history of the world. Can it be done? Sure. Art has signed up 100, 200, 250 people, personally sponsored in companies that he's been in. A lot of people have had success sponsoring, but there's an easier way, and there's a way that's going to help the long-term growth, not only of your business, but of our business together. And I call it Christmas in July. Decades ago, retailers learned that they were making the bulk of their money around the holiday season. And in the middle of the year, the income was drying up. So they ran a scam, and there's commercials going all month long. Turn the TV on, turn the radio on. You'll hear some retailer talking about Christmas in July, some special for Christmas in July. And it's all designed to get people to spend money in July. So I want for the next 2 weeks, the rest of this month, for everyone on this call to be thinking about Christmas and July. Here's how we're going to do it. I want you to squeeze that grape that's in your hand. I want you to take every free member you have. Now, remember, the goal is to get them to become premium members. But the way we're going to do that is we are going to send them a text. We're going to send them a text. Let me see if I wrote down a few notes. Just something simple like this. Hi, thank you for joining Nexus Rewards Company as a free member. I hope you started using the free apps and getting cash back. As a way to show my appreciation and celebrate Christmas in July with you, I'm sending you a link to receive $30 free from Rakuten. Rakuten has paid its members back over $2.2 billion in the last 23 years. And when you use this link to buy $30 or more from any of the thousands of stores that does business with Rakuten, they're going to send you in the mail a check for $30, no strings attached. I hope you take advantage of this free gift. Thank you for being a free member of Nexus Rewards. Merry Christmas in July. Companies have been using a thank you free gift. Thank you for being a free member. Thank you for joining us as a free member. Here's my free gift to you. Now, why focus on Rakuten and not Upside? Why focus on Rakuten and not the prescription deal? Why focus on Rakuten and not Fetch? Well, for $30, and $30 quickly made. You can go out. Bruce talked last week about the simple math. If you went out and got one person this week to use the Rakuten app, that's 30. 10 is 300. 100 is 3,000. Many of you have 10, 50, 100, 1,000, 2,000 free members on your team. And I guarantee you this, I promise you this, if you will do these simple steps, if you will send them a text, and here's the great news, and this is why I chose Rakuten, not just for the money, but for their technology. I want you to learn about our business. When you go to your Rakuten app or you look at it on the website and you scroll down their menu, you're going to see invite, refer a friend, $30. They give you a point and click system where all you have to do, you can click text, you can click email, you can click Facebook, and they send a well-crafted script to whoever you send that to. You can go on your Nexus back office, you can look at all the information from your free members, and you can just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And Rakuten is going to send them a great script. It already has, if you set your app up it's correctly, it already has your link in it. So what I want you to do is I want you to send a thank you note to all your members before you send them the Rakuten link, so they'll know it's coming. Let them know, I appreciate you joining our company as a free member. I hope you're loving using our apps. I want to give you a free gift for joining our company, because here's the reality. Free members are just premium members in waiting. Free members, they think they wanted to say no, but they don't want to say no. They want to say yes to saving money. They want to say yes to getting 10, 30, 60 cents back on every gallon of gas that they purchase. They think they want to say no, but what they really want to do, they want to say yes to saving 5, 10, 35% back. I want to tell you, when I saw the original information for our company and I heard the sizzle call and the guy said he got $35 back on Popeye's fried chicken, I was all done. I was all done. $35. I eat Popeye's chicken every week. Now, I'm not saying that's a health tip, but I love Popeye's chicken. And when I found out if they can save me 35% of Popeye's chicken, they can get $22 worth of my money. And when that's why I know that free members are just premium members in waiting. The only reason they are free, it's not because they can't find $21.95 a month. It's because they're not using the apps. We've got to get them using the apps. How are we going to do it? Christmas in July. How are we going to get them our gift? We're going to send them a text. We're going to send them an email, and we are going to thank them. John and I have over 1,000 free members on our team, and we are going to send these people text. First off, send them a text, similar script to what I just told you. Going to thank them. We're going to offer them a free gift just for being here. And then we're going to watch the money roll in. We see money roll in every day, every couple of days, if not every day. Here's a new $30. Here's another $30. This $30 is adding up. What am I saying? Are we in business to be racketing people? No, we're not in business to be racketing people. We're in business to be Nexus people. But Nexus people are have this wonderful app called Rakuten. And right now, it's paying us $30 a pop. And I want to see you go out and get 5 of those this week. Go out and get 10 of those this week, because as you build your story of making money here, that's going to help your free members come along and say, oh, wow, Gail made $100 this week. Gail made $150 this week. Gail made $1,000 this month in Nexus rewards. And yeah, and they're going to start telling each other the only reason they're free members is because they're not using the apps. Do the Christmas in July. Send them that link. Rakuten makes it so easy with their technology, their streamlined system. They're going to do all the work, or 90% of the work for you. And I believe everyone on this call can get 5, 10, 100, 200 people to click that Rakuten link for $30. And then you're going to begin building your story. I'll leave you with this. I say it all the time because I know it's true. Facts tell, but stories sell. Go out, share this information, build your own story, get some success here at Nexus Rewards. Let's utilize all the different income streams. I love the way Art says it. He says with our apps, we have multiple business centers. We not only get paid from Nexus Rewards, we through the Unilevel, through the Infinity coded bonuses, through the personally sponsored first level, $10 for everyone you personally sponsor. We've got different ways to make. We get money through Upside every day. We get money through Rakuten, all these different ways. Let's make sure that we're being faithful to do everything we can. I live by a couple of simple rules. I'll give you one of them and turn it back over to John. We do the possible. Let God do the impossible. Send out some texts. Point people to this Rakuten $30. I want to see you have success here at Nexus Rewards. My goal continues to be, I want to see everybody win. Appreciate you for being here. I want to send it back to John. Tell us some good things, John.
Thank you, Scott. Love your material. It's so critical. Everyone gets on that. The apps, get a story. We've heard it over and over and over. We heard it on this call, and we talk about it at length on our Tuesday and Thursday webcast. So hopefully everybody's clear on that. Just fantastic mindset training there from Scott. Great info from Art. Love the involvement. I get to do the icing on the cake today. They did all the heavy lifting. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of organization, a little bit of planning, and we make it real easy for everybody to be able to go through and implement what you just heard, because Art boiled it down to, you just got to run the numbers, right? I mean, you just got to dial the phone. It's a numbers game. So now what we want to talk about is exactly what kind of numbers do you need to do? And this all ties into being responsible for your own business. Might be a new concept for a lot of people on here. That's okay. But this is really where You separate the men from the boys, if I can be that militaristic, where you really earn it. So you want to decide where you're going to go and then how you get there. It's real simple. So you reverse engineer the whole process. What am I talking about? Well, if you wanted to steal the technology in an iPhone or Samsung, you know, a lot of people these days can take these phones apart and then work backwards, figuring out how it was made to copy it. Well, that's what we're going to do here. We're not going to be stealing phones or any technology or anything crazy like that, but we are going to reverse engineer the process on how you make money. That might sound complicated or a long drawn out thing. It's not. I promise you, it's real simple. And we're just going to go step by step. So we're going to work backwards. That's what reverse engineering means. I always reference the Alice in Wonderland story where Alice walks up to the Cheshire Cat, and you know there are multiple paths that she can take, and she asks the cat, which one should I take? And the cat says, where do you want to go? And Alice responds with, I don't know. And the cat says, well, any road will do then. So, you know, you have to figure out where you want to go and then how you're going to get there. So the first step is you decide what income level you want to get to. And it might only be, hey, I want to make an extra $100 a month. Or I just want to, you know, share this with friends, and maybe I get a little extra income on the side, and there's no financial need or pressure or whatever. That's fine. So any road will do on that, and you can, you know, take it easy and have a fun time here with Nexus Rewards. We love that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Some people want to make an extra $500 a month, and that will cover their car payment. You know, whatever it is, we're okay with all that. My job is not to tell you how much money you should earn. My job is to tell you how to get to whatever the goal is that you want to get to. That's that easy. And I say my job, but everybody on this call speaking, that's what our goal is, to help you reach your goals, whatever that goal is. So start with where you want to go, then work backwards. And, you know, some people say, hey, I got to make, you know, $1,000 a week. I want to cover my bills. Some people say, I want to cover my mortgage, and then I want to pay off my house. I want to make a 6-figure income. Again, whatever that amount is, figure it out. That's really step number one. You identify what that amount is. Now, Scott mentioned a 5-figure income. And, you know, obviously that would be more than $9,999. And so if that income amount is larger, that's going to put more pressure on you to do more work, obviously. Now, our system shows just bringing in one a month, you know, one a day, whatever it is your goal is. It's not difficult to do that. With the power of one, things continue to grow and multiply. It's the beauty of this industry, is you can get that massive growth just by doing step-by-step small amounts. But first step, figure out how much money you want to make. Second step, how many total downline do I need? I actually did this yesterday. I was out of town. I was driving back home, and I was just in my head. I had a huge number of ideas about what I need to do. And the first thing I said was, I don't have 100 paid frontliners yet. And by the way, all the stuff that we're talking about here in this working backwards process, reverse engineering, every number that we're talking about here in terms of number of downline, number of people you need to bring on, we're talking about all paid members, all premium members. We're not talking about free. Okay, you'll make a little bit of money on your free referrals, and actually could add up to quite a bit of money depending on how many of them you bring on. But in terms of your Nexus income from Nexus, that won't include free members, because there's no money there in the free that's going to pay back for Nexus. So you'll get the $30 Rakuten bonus when you bring someone on who uses that $30 offer. Upside pays sometimes $7 per referral. They definitely pay us a cashback on our gas fill-ups per referral. And then for every gallon of gas they pump, we get paid on that. But that's not coming through Nexus. That's coming through the app. Same thing with the Fetch Rewards app. Again, all the benefits there are through the app. Okay, so we're talking right here exclusively about Nexus income, and we're talking about how many paid members you're going to bring on. So I want to be clear on that, and it's real simple. So if I say I want to make $1,000 monthly income, then I just need to figure out, okay, well, how many downline would I need to get there? Now, if I'm making $1 per head, it's just simple math, and that's the easiest way for me to calculate how I need to get there. And then we have other things we can add or subtract based on the other factors, the other payments, the other things that Art and Scott alluded to, the other ways we get paid, the matrix, some of the other coding bonuses and so forth. But I just keep it simple. I focus on that 10-level downline chart, and really that's all I focus on. All the other stuff is, again, just gravy on my turkey and potatoes. So I focus completely on that 10-level, unilevel, getting paid down 10 levels on as wide as I want to go. So number of downline right there at $1 a head. If I want to make $1,000, real simple, right? That would be 1,000 people, and boom, I'm at $1,000 of income when I have 1,000 downline. Now you might say, 1,000 people? Yeah, but you know what? You haven't generated that much revenue on 1,000 people. That would be $22,000 in revenue, right? $22 times 1,000, that'd be 22,000. And if you got 5% of that, that would be around 1,000. It'd be a little bit more than 1,000, and you would actually earn a little bit more than 1,000 in that scenario, because the reality is you'd probably bring on 10, 20 frontliners to get 1,000 underneath you. I mean, that's actually factual. It's not hypothetical. We can't guarantee it, obviously, but for most people that bring on 10 or 20 people, they should see some pretty easy, good duplication of 100, hundreds, and maybe 1,000 people, and eventually 1,000 people in your organization when you bring on that number of people. I mean, we've done it before many times, and that's where you get that duplication. Now, you do have to work with people, and you do have to have people that are working in your organization. And if you don't have people in there building that, then you probably need to go get more people. I mean, it's just that easy. So number of downline. Now, okay, I know I need 1,000 downline. And by the way, if you go get 100 yourself at $10 a head, you can figure out there's $1,000, right? So which is easier, to go get 100 frontliners yourself or to go get 1,000 downline? Well, obviously, you could go get 1,000 downline a lot faster than you can go get 100 frontliners. And like Scott said, if you do go get 100 frontliners overnight or even in your first month or whatever, hey, kudos to you. That's great. Is your system duplicatable? That's the bottom line. Is it duplicatable? There are a lot of people on this call. A lot. There are a handful of people on this call, a good percentage actually, probably 10% of people on this call that have brought on 100 people, and in their first month they brought on 30 or 40, and in their second month they brought on another 30 or 40. So in a matter of 2 or 3 months they brought on 100 people. Art was one of them. You heard it on his training call last week. Exactly, he did that, and he talked about the prospecting lines that he used, and today he talked about the mindset and how many people you can expect to see come on board. So we have that evidence, that proof of how many people you can bring on, and then what that can grow to. So here we're just giving you some ideas to think about. So 100 frontliners, yeah, you could do that. You might be able to do it in 3 or 4 months. 25 a month, you can see already, again, I'm reverse engineering just as I talk about reverse engineering. But you can also go get 20 or 30 people, and all of a sudden that can turn into 1,000 downline, just like Art showed you on his slide. So that's the next step right there, is how many downline total, and then how many frontline do you need to go get that downline. Now, if you've been paying attention at all over the last few weeks, and if you're brand new, my apologies, but the number of frontline can quickly lead to, with again exact duplication, it can quickly lead to 1,000 total downline. So the number of frontline, if you have 5 frontliners, and then you just duplicate that 5, and then those 5 get their 5, that would be 25 on your second level, and then 25 who get 5, that's 125 on your third level. And again, we've shown these numbers multiple times. You can see it on previous training recordings. So that's why I'm not showing it here today. Maybe we should show that. But Art showed it on his power of 1. You saw the duplication just with that. But 5, 25, 125, 125 who get 5 each, 625, and then 625 who get 5 each, 3125. So that's 6 levels and basically 4,000 people in your organization when you're going 5 by 5. And so you might look at this and say, okay, well, I need 5 frontliners who duplicate to get to 1,000 downline. And there you go. And how long will it take you to get 5 frontliners? Well, here's the key. You need 5 frontliners who are going to duplicate. So you may need to go get 20 or 30 to find those 5 who are duplicating. So that's the process. Go bring on 10, 20, 30 people, find those 5, and then get that duplication going. And that's the process. Now, if you say, hey, I got to bring on 20 frontliners, I got to bring on 50, I want to go get 100. Like Art said, it really is inviting. And by bringing the more frontliners you get right now, the bigger the percentage of total company market share you can get. That's called playing the odds, and that's what you want to do. And so to get that huge number of people, you got to go through a lot more prospects, okay? To get 5, how many prospects do you need to go through? Again, the math is very easy. You just back that up and say, all right, if I'm going to sign up 5 people, I probably need to enroll how many? I probably need to prospect how many to get 5 enrolled? Well, if you show the business, if you have 10 people look at the business, can you enroll 1 of them? My hallucination is yes, you can get 1 out of 10. Now, you might, like when I was brand new in this business, it was more like 1 out of 50. I was pretty awful. I've gotten a little bit better, as Art referenced, you improve with time. But if you get 1 out of 20, again, that's 5%. That's a little bit lower. But that's really the number that we want to use to stay conservative. So if you prospect 100 people, you would get 5, right? 5%. We got 1 out of 20, 5 out of 100. That's your target. Now, look, if you go through a batch of 100 and you get 1 or you get 0, guess what? Bad batch, boo-hoo, do another 100, okay? That's the mindset, that's the process that you have to go through. As soon as I figured that out, when I was 23 years old, and I didn't know up from down, and that was edited for TV, I had to look in the mirror and say, am I going to go and talk to 100, 200, 400, 800 people? And I said, yeah, that's way easier than anything else I can do. I was working a job, I was paying my bills, but I didn't have an action plan to get me to any type of retirement income or anything that I needed to do for big money. So I said, yep, I'm going to dial the phone and I'm going to do it X number of hours, just like Art talked about. And that's the last step right there. How much time are you going to put into this? And you need to block that time, put it on your calendar, block it out, and let everybody know that's when I'm working. That whole process right there, if you put concrete numbers to that, that's how you get where you want to go. That's the reverse engineering. In order to go and copy this phone, first I got to tear it all apart. Then I got to be able to put it back together. Then I got to know what makes each part work. And it's the same thing with building your Nexus organization. What do I need to do? How much time do I need to spend? And that's it right there. Let me give you a little bit of concrete info on the number of prospects, and then the amount of time required to get that number of prospects. It's actually pretty simple, because we've talked about, again, in previous trainings, the texting system. We talk about that on the first Saturday of every month when we go through our new rep getting started checklist. And that amount of time that you'll need to go through the prospects really is just a matter of how long will it take you to prospect 10 people. You know, let's say it takes you an hour to text 10 people. You're moving pretty slow. A lot of people can do that in 10 minutes. But even if it takes you an hour, there you go, there's your hour. Now, what's your other hour or two going to be? Especially if you're working an hour a day, you're probably going to be talking to 1 or 2 prospects per day off of the 10 minutes, half an hour you spent texting a bunch of people. And that's it. That's really all there is to it. We go through that little, process, and some of you might say, well, gee whiz, if that's your duplication model, I can go prospect 50 people in an hour or two. And yes, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. You have to tee up their name. That might take you a minute or two. It might take you a little bit longer. And you get the list of who you want to contact. That's what I do, by the way, to start my week. Each week, and we're talking about our daily method of operation here, our weekly method of operation. Find out who you're going to contact. Have that list. And then it doesn't even matter if you're standing in line at the grocery store or the bank or wherever you're going to go, or whatever you're doing, and you're sitting at work and you got a little downtime or you're at lunch. You can just, paste in your text and hit the send button. And how many times can you do that in an hour? I mean, it's so simple and Mickey Mouse. It's really kind of comical. It's like, how many people did I text today? And for me, if that number is not 30 or 40, then shame on me. I didn't do enough work that day. And you might get people calling you back that day, and you may need to say, you know what, I can't talk right now. I only have 5 minutes left on my lunch break. How is 5 tonight when I'm driving home? Can I catch you then? Or how is 8 o'clock tonight? Are you free at 8? Great, let's talk then. I usually, when people text me back, I set a time before they can cut me off, or point blank me. I point blank them. Hey, how is 8 tonight? How is 3 p.m. this afternoon? Boom, done. So that's really the process. There's not much more to it. If you want to be aggressive with this, if you have the time, if you have the contacts, 50 a day, text 50 a day, talk to 5 to 10 a day. All right. Now, Art talked about in the old days, how do we get people to the hotel room? That is the exact same process here, except how do we get eyeballs on the videos, on the webcast, on a 3-way call? Those are the next steps right there. Again, we've talked about that in our previous trainings. That's the process right there. How much money you want to make? How many downline total do you need? I use $1 a day. If it comes out to be $1.50 or $2, woohoo, that's great. But I'm going to use $1. And so I know right there, if I have 20,000 downline and I'm getting paid $1 a head, you do the math. Am I going to stick around here until I have 20,000 downline? Yep, sure am. How long will it take me to get there? If it takes me 6 months, great. If it takes me 2 years, still great. But that's really the process. And then how many frontline do I need to get there? And I never fire any of my frontliners, but if they're not working, they got to be replaced. I know they're not one of my 5, right? So that's the process right there. Now, we love everybody. We're not calling people up, telling them what to do. There are a lot of people like that in this industry. And if you want somebody screaming at you and pointing a gun at you and telling you what to do, you can find people like that. You might even be able to get Scott or me to act like that with you if you want it. But most people don't like that. This is their business. Freedom's the name of the game here. This is all volunteer army, and you get to move at your own pace. I had a frontliner yesterday apologize to me. Sorry, I've had some health challenges. not real tech savvy, and he's given me all kinds of reasons why he hasn't gone out and enrolled 10 people right away. And I said, hey, it's no problem at all. This is your pace. You can move at your own speed, and life is beautiful. And in the meantime, he's not taking up my time doing three-ways. So what am I doing? I'm going and getting other people. I'm doing three-ways with other people. It's just not a complicated process where there needs to be a lot of gnashing of teeth and unhappiness. I always say, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. So that's what we're doing. We're having fun. We're working with people that want to work. And if the people we bring on, if we want it for them more than they want it for themselves, you need to check yourself, check your goals, check their goals. And that really is the last topic right here. Bottom line on this whole thing is accountability, because reality is with human nature, we're all normal people where it's a lot easier to be lazy than hardworking. That's life, right? It's easier to be dirty than clean. It's easier to watch TV than it is to dial the phone. But that is reality. And by the way, you might want to check out that book. We talked about it, right? That name of the game is consistency. There it is right there. The consistency chain in network marketing, for network marketing. Jim Packard, great book. Mowed through this in no time. And I said, yep, I used to be very inconsistent. And today I'm not. What changed? I did. I had to want it though. And that goes back to the accountability. And the beauty of accountability is when you say, hey, I want it, it really does come down to you giving other people your goals. That sounds so scary, right? A lot of people get freaked out when we start talking about give a copy of your goals to somebody else. That's accountability. And when you block your time on your calendar, and then you announce that to your family members, to your significant others, to your friends, hey, I'm working during these times. And that's it. The title and the author right here. I'm holding it up on the screen. It is Jim Packard's classic. He wrote the book with George Campbell, and it's called The Consistency Chain. He actually wrote that book. They wrote that book for traditional business, and then they did one for network marketing. So enjoy that. Great book. The whole focus of the process is becoming consistent. And one of the ways you do that is for accountability. So there you go. It's such a simple process, but sadly, most people are unwilling to do it. And, when we talk about accountability, putting your goals on paper, reverse engineering it, putting the amount of time, blocking the time on your calendar, and announcing it to everybody out there who's going to be infringing on your time so that they know when you're going to be working and unavailable. Like everyone knows right now, I'm not available. Where am I? I'm on my webcast. When are my webcasts? Tuesday at 8 p.m., Thursday at 8 p.m., Saturday at 10 a.m. Those are all Eastern times. So that's the process right there. Get those times blocked. And, I just gave you our webcast times. Of course, you want to put your time, right? So if my name is Jay Magnuson, I'm going to put, all right, these are the times I'm dialing the phone. These are the times I'm texting the phone. And I've got that time blocked out. And then people know that's when I'm unavailable. That's when I'm working. By the way, if my phone rings right now, am I answering it? Nope. Sorry, I'm unavailable. If I am in my texting time from 9 to noon, I'm texting and I'm not taking calls. So if you're ringing me from 9 to noon, you get a response that says, hey, I'll call you back. And then I'll probably follow that up with, can you talk at 1? And boom, that's it. So now I have an appointment and I'm not, again, messing up the time that I scheduled to be on my schedule. So very important process there. Should be easy. Once you get all of that in place and make it a habit, consistent habit, then everything else flows. All of a sudden, you've got dozens of people plugged in here, and it's really just that simple. You just need to go through that process. As soon as you have that down and you do it on a daily basis, you are good to go. Hey, look at this. We finished in exactly an hour. I hope you got your money's worth. Every Saturday, we try to give you enough material that you can, drive the bus to the bank. And that's the goal here. That's what we want to help everybody do. Again, this is laser focused for people who want to build a big network. If you want to do a little bit, you don't want to attack it that aggressively, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But we do want everyone to have an action plan and a way to get there. And then, a process that works, that's proven over and over and over. So one of my frontliners said she went and got Kevin Marino's book, Shut Up and Text. And, then she started going through the process. And that, if you heard her on the call this week on the webcast that she did, great process, Dr. Lorette. It really is, one more, we're recommending books here. It's what we do. And you can use that material, and you really don't even need to get either of these books, because we covered the meat and potatoes of all of this. But now, yeah, and you can definitely go and review the recordings of these. We will have them posted up, so don't worry about that. And then you can, listen to it as many times as you need. Back in the old days, we had to go to a hotel, and, if we fell asleep during the hotel meeting, we had to go back and, hear it again the following week or whatever. But we don't have to do that anymore. All right, I'm done. Pastor Scott, you got a question? What we'll do is we'll open it up now for Q&A, and then we will have everybody be able to unmute and go in an orderly fashion. Let me just hit the stop there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is that better? Yeah, the higher I go, the more glare you get. Yeah, that's it. But we put the title in the chat. Copy that and then go to Amazon. You have the book tomorrow. Come on. Yeah, you gotta love it. All right, I am gonna mute. Thank you for that, Bruce. Appreciate that. Awesome. And Mr. Becker, you are the man. You're muted. Why are you muted? You should be able to unmute. And you're raising your hand. Good man. Raise your hand if you have a question or comment.
I'm muted. It's all kinds of stuff going on, and I am just beaming. Great training, Art. Great training, John. If you haven't been reading the chat messages, guys, you've missed out. I did a follow-up for Gail in the chat. Check that out. What to do after you get the racketing thing. We'll post more about that in Telegram. But Dr. Lorette, let me say first and foremost, awesome job Wednesday. Guys, don't forget, get your prospects to the Wednesday call, 1 p.m., the webinar, Zoom business opportunity, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on this same Zoom information. Dr. Lorette does a great job. She's going to get your prospects to sign up. And she is one of my favorite people in the world because she's coachable. I shared my Christmas in July idea with her and some other leaders. She's on our front line, and we were sharing, John and I were Wednesday night with some frontline leaders, the Christmas in July idea. And she said in the chat room that she's already gotten 24 people. That's a 2 and a 4. 24 people to respond to the Rakuten offer. Now, for all the math wizards out there, 24 times 30 is 700 $720. I just gave her this idea 3 days ago. This is one of the reasons why she's such a great leader, because she knows how to take a good idea and go with it. Would you like to have had 24 $30 checks come your way in the last 3 days? I would. I wouldn't be upset about an extra $720 coming my way in the next couple of days. Great job, Dr. Lorette. Guys, we can all do it together. John said he's going to take some Q&A. If you got a question, go ahead and raise your hand and we'll try to get to it.
Recording stopped.